And then we have Rachel Pellett, who's a native of Canada and a trained social worker. And she's been serving not, I think, a year or two, but she'll correct 2 years. Okay. And she's from Canada and a trained social worker. And she serves with United Church in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands as assistant director of the Pringle Home for Children in Jamaica, which provides a safe, healthy, loving, and spiritually nurturing home for girls between the ages of 8 and 18. In addition to providing practical assistance and day-to-day support to the overall functioning of the home, she provides basic counseling and helps establish programs that will contribute to the care, protection, rehabilitation, and development of the girls in order to enable them to achieve a higher level of social functioning. So first, I'm going to turn it over to Rachel, and we're really happy that you could be with us, Rachel. And she's the mission co-worker connected with our conference that we have not met in person yet. So we look forward to what you have to tell us today.
Sure. So I'm going to just prepare to share my screen. I've just prepared a little overview of the United Church in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, and how I'm involved, but I think the nitty-gritty and the good stuff will come with your questions. So hopefully this sparks a few questions along the way. So I have the privilege of being part of the team at Pringle Home for Children, which is part of the United Church in Jamaica, Cayman Islands. The UCJCI's vision is to touch lives, nurture disciples, and seek transformation through Christ. And their mission is for all people to invite, encourage, and help everyone to become disciples of Christ while seeking at all times to meet their needs. The way that the United Church in Jamaica and Cayman Islands does that is very diverse. So they have a number of subsidiaries which make up the International Caribbean University of the Caribbean. They have after-school programs for children and youth, adult education, training, and literacy programs, senior programs and care, including a residential facility for seniors who need that extra love and support. They have counseling centers and programs across the islands, radio ministries, and local congregational ministries that are really engaged and focused on meeting local needs of their parishioners, as well as the communities in which they are located. One fun fact about Jamaica is that it has the most churches per capita in the world and has for decades. So the ways that churches are engaging in the community and the really creative ideas that they have are something that we have tons to learn from. But where I really have the opportunity to get engaged as somebody with a social work background is with the children's homes that UCJCI operates. So the United Church in Jamaica and Cayman Islands has two homes, Mount Olivet Boys Home and Pringle Home for Children. This is Mount Olivet Boys Home. It's an older photo, so you'll see an updated one coming soon. It's been in operation since 1967 and gets its name from the community in which it is. So it's located mid-island. It's in Manchester, which is the parish, which is like a state that's yellow, kind of more central to the island there. Boys who come to live at Mount Olivet do so as placement from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency in Jamaica. It would be following a court decision or investigation with the decision that the child is in need of care and protection. What this means practically is that the boys' histories are such that they've lost one or more parents, they've experienced abuse or neglect, or a guardian simply wasn't able to provide physically or financially for them, hence them coming to Mount Olivet. At the moment, there's 40 boys living at Mount Olivet boys home between the ages of 8 and 17, plus an additional 8 young men in the pre-independent facility. In terms of children's homes across the island, Mount Olivet is unique in that once children turn 18, usually they'd phase out of the programming. But in the case where the young men don't have a family support network that can really mentor them and counsel them into young adulthood, there's the opportunity for them to continue with work life, vocational training, or continued education on site. And this is something that's being further developed. So this is the updated photo. So as you can see, it's quite a bit has changed. So now there is a sports field, arena, and stage, as well as this new building on the right-hand side. So this new building is over a decade in the making, and ground was broken 3 years ago. They're hoping that the younger boys will move into this facility hopefully next month. And the top level is for visitors. So if a missions trip is planned, they've created space to facilitate that. The old buildings will be used to expand not only on-site vocational skills training, but also the pre-independent facility. This was a long-term partnership with Johan Blake, who's an Olympian, who's taken a real vested interest in supporting UCJCI, but especially Mount Olivet Boys Home. For the most part, Mount Olivet finds creative means of meeting its day-to-day needs. So the top right photo is rainwater catchment. There's also a lot of agriculture that's done to meet their day-to-day food needs in partnership with a number of local and international organizations. A large chunk of the budget does come from the government. So there's a subvention for each boy monthly. And then the remainder, besides these two channels, would come from donations from the United Church in Jamaica, Cayman Islands, and the kindness of individuals, public and private donors, local and international partners, including global ministries and child sponsorship. Mount Olivet's mission is to provide a loving, safe, nurturing environment where the boys' physical, spiritual, and emotional and intellectual needs are being met to maximize their potential and their contribution to society. It's a team of 16 persons. Mr. Newman is the director and Ms. Kimberly Elliott is the assistant director. They're overseen by the Synod via an elected board of directors, and schooling is offered off-site. That's the same at Pringle Home. But on-site, the programming that we offer includes educational, recreational, vocational, and worship opportunities. Pringle Home is where I am part of the life of the girls and the staff team. It is almost 100 years old. So it started in 1922 with Reverend and Mrs. McNee and their daughter Kathy. It's located in a rural farming community called Karen Hall in St. Mary, about 541 meters above sea level. And it got its name through the donation to start the construction of the building of Dr. John Pringle. So 100 years of ministry means that we have a ton of success stories of staff and girls, as well as some challenges related to the infrastructure. So if you ask the director, she will tell you about girls that she now works with side by side as colleagues after them completing university and becoming professionals across the island and abroad. But she'd also tell you that the biggest challenge we face is a 100-year-old building. Similar to Mount Olivet, girls that come to live with us at Pringle Home for Children do so from the Child and Family Services Agency, which means that girls come to us as survivors, having been identified as being in need of care and protection. They are also tremendous musicians and have really impressive school accolades. So for the last 2 years, we've had head girls at their high schools, senior prefects, math whizzes, spelling bee champions. We have girls that dream of being international artists, actresses, dancers, track and field superstars, police, doctors, psychologists, all the sorts. But because of their past, Pringle Home serves as a ministry of the church, as a place where girls are invited into relationship, into healing and wholeness with God, their fullest potential, and with others. We're licensed to accommodate 36 girls, but those infrastructural needs means that we're not quite able to reach that capacity. Right now, we have 19 girls between the ages of 9 and 16. But we're licensed for as young as 4. We don't at the moment have the pre-independent facilities. That's something we'd really love to be able to offer in future, and in light of the learning and the expertise of Mount Olivet. Something that does make Pringle Home unique is that girls constantly come and join us, but also in as many situations as possible are reunited with family. So this picture is a little testimony of that. It's a happy and sad photo. It is this one beautiful young 8-year-old girl who lost both of her parents tragically. We're saying goodbye to her because she's got a foster to an adoption opportunity. And another young girl here, 9 years old, was being reunited with her family, her father and her brother. Her brother was in Mount Olivet and she was with us. And through the support of Child and Family Services and the church, they were able to be reunited after about 1.5 years apart. This is made possible through Pringle's unique vision and mission. So its vision is to transform the lives of hurting children in a safe and secure family-oriented environment where faith in God is developed and hope is restored. Its mission is to provide a loving and nurturing residential atmosphere where hurts are healed and hope is nurtured so that girls who call Pringle home may maximize their potential and fulfill their purposes. Our staff team is 15. The director is Mrs. Jeanette Rose Bryan, who is the lady on the left in this photo. We're also overseen by a board of directors and the synod. And then the remaining staff team are house mothers and other caregivers who are employed to nurture and ensure the well-being of the girls. And it's in the spirit of partnership, of resource and personnel sharing between Global Ministries and UCJCI that Global Ministries responded to a request for assistance in hiring an assistant director. And that's when I was able to apply and compete for the opportunity to join the staff team. That was 5 years after my first application and communicated interest and many trainings with Global Ministry. So Pringle Home's intention is to facilitate the holistic development of all children who join us, but what does this mean in practical terms? Well, academic and vocational skills are a real top priority at Pringle Home. So all girls at the home must attend school, whether Karen Hall Primary, which is the bottom left photo, or Karen Hall High, which is the bottom right photo. And the top photo is a picture from my office window of the school and the church that the girls attend. So school is walking distance. It's pretty much the only thing in the community besides homes and Pringle Home. So it's a very rural community. And then since COVID, school has transitioned to being on site. So the top left photo is our dining hall turned all ages classroom, facilitated by a donation from Child and Protection Services. They gave us the flat screen that we were able to use to continue with the girls' education. The top right is us trying to make excellent use of the resources that we have in our on-site library. And then the girls really, they catch the vision of the value of education. And so that bottom left photo is the girls reenacting a very famous game show in Jamaica. Friday nights are spent watching this competition of the top schools and students in the schools competing. So we would learn throughout the week, and then Fridays, the girls would host this big game show production to review everything that we had learned and studied. It was like everywhere else in the world trying to play catch up with schooling, and really being innovative in the meantime. But in the end, global ministries was the answer to our prayers. So schools closed in March of 2020, and in December of 2020, global ministries approved a grant through child sponsorship that Pringle Home was able to purchase enough tablets that every girl who joins us is able to log in online. The girls once again blew us away. They not only caught up in everything they had missed during that time, but excelled and once again come out at the top of their classes. So there's a lot to celebrate, but also a lot of gratitude for people that support global ministries and was able to make this possible for the girls. Before and after COVID, after school programming is a big focus for us. We have tutoring, after school homework help, and remedial literacy for the girls who need, whether that's numeracy or written literacy. And then we've been able to launch an incentivized reading program so that the girls are able to earn stars, which they can trade in to buy really beautiful school supplies that have been donated to us. And once again, that's local and abroad donations. The top girls are in the top photo, kind of naming out their favorite books as part of that program when we launched it. Recreation is also part of the day-to-day life at Pringle. So Johan Blank, the Olympian that has done a ton of work to support Mount Olivet, also visited us at Pringle Home and constructed this ball court on the right-hand side photo, as well as a little playground facility for the girls. They make excellent use of that. And then we were also able to do facilitated recreation and exercise programs with the donation of the flat screen TV since COVID. So this is something that I shyfully debated if I was going to do with the girls, and they've run with it. So this photo on the left is their favorite Zumba instructor named Tanju. Zumba is a big thing at Pringle. The girls can be outside on the playfield and hear the song and do all the moves perfectly without seeing the TV. What I thought was going to be half an hour in the morning before we started classes just to get the jitters out has turned into exercise 3 times a day. So the girls really have reminded me that recreation and fun is an essential part of self-care. The girls play and can teach you a ton about play if you want to come and mutually learn from each other. So we do arts and craft, weekly movie nights. We don't have cable or internet at Pringle, but weekly movie nights are a big highlight of the week, Friday nights. We have games. The girls facilitate sports days, ring games, group games, and then the bottom right photo is a fashion show. So every opportunity that we have for karaoke or fashion shows or Jamaica's Got Talent in lieu of America's Got Talent, or any other kind of group facility to showcase the girls' talents. We do morning daily devotionals, daily meditations, and contemplative exercises. The girls attend Karen Hall United Church, which is walking distance, and the girls are really excited about when they get to participate in music ministry and youth fellowship. So once a month when church was on, the girls would lead the service, and we have some snippets of them practicing for their music ministry on the Global Ministries website if you'd like to hear the girls. But because of the girls' past and our intentional effort to be part of the girls' healing process, psychological care is really an essential part of life at Pringle. So we have daily psychosocial wrap sessions, basic counseling on site, as well as support from doctors and nurses through child guidance. The support through global ministries and especially child sponsorship is something that's allowed us to get those really professional and high quality appointments for the girls through child guidance. And then the Children and Family Services Agency has a regional clinical psychologist that comes to the home every other week and offers group and individual counseling sessions too. And then last but not least, filling up all that extra time of civic holidays, summer holidays, and for instance, Christmas, Easter holidays with camps. And this has been probably one of the most valuable things, if you ask a girl at Pringle, that she gets to be a part of, and her experience of the church. So some girls who come to Pringle have previous experience with church, and some girls this is entirely new. But one of the biggest highlights for all girls when you ask them about church is the summer camps, the day trips. And this is the last day trip that we were able to go on before COVID. So I think probably one of the biggest things I've learned since being at Pringle Home is how much it takes a village to raise children. So I'm not yet a mother myself, but seeing the way that the church and other organizations, both from within Jamaica, the Caribbean, and abroad, have invested in the girls and caught the vision of being part of a time of a girl's life when she really needs that support. And the same goes at Mount Olivet. They've done a fantastic job of rallying the community, the global community. But I would be remiss if I didn't extend a very big, warm Pringle Home thank you for the ways that the New York Conference and Global Ministries is able to be part of the life and the work that God is doing through the United Church in Jamaica and Cayman Islands, and with the church in Jamaica and Cayman Islands. So thank you so much. I look forward to all of your questions.